Hey, it's SickBoy from the Gaminganarchist Collective, and welcome to the top 10 gaming-related Dickheads video. I know this is a little bit delayed. I'm afraid I've had some personal issues that have kept me away from making videos the last couple of weeks, but I'm now back in full force, ready to get shit done. So, oh my god, it's hot. Any of you in the UK, it is scorching this week. I do not last well in the heat. Man my size, I feel like a manatee in an oven. Shitting hell. Thankfully, I have some Cobra beer to get me through the day. Although not actually the day, because I've been at work all day, so this is actually the first beer. I haven't just been sitting here drinking in the sunshine. So, time to get this list down. Now, for those of you who aren't aware of how this plays out, what I do is I list 10 companies or people who have acted like the biggest dickheads, in my personal opinion, since I made the last video. So this covers all of June, and in this case the first week or so of July. Okay, and then I just run these things down, give my reasons. Links and everything will be in the description field as to where I have this information from, why I have this opinion. Okie dokie. Right, let's get the ball rolling, shall we? Okay, number 10. It's going to have to be DICE. DICE, because at E3 they managed to fail to launch Battlefield 4 for quite some substantial amount of time. It was awful. It was at the Xbox One launch. They couldn't launch it. It was clearly being run on Windows 7 because it made a Windows fail noise. Which was just, what the fuck are you doing? You're announcing, I know that you're not Call of Duty, you don't do a game every single year. Battlefield has to be a big launch because Battlefield 3 has had a decent amount of longevity. What the fuck was that about? The poor guy, give him his due. The poor guy who had to announce it was standing there looking like an idiot with all the professional fucking gaming journalists going, "Hey!" and just heckling him, which was really helpful, I thought. And that was just laughable. That was the first big fail of E3, and you deserve a space on that, DICE, because that was dumb as shit. You're a little bit higher up because, frankly, EA have been a little bit less douchey recently because they're terrified at the way their customers are angry at them, and also Battlefront. What can I say? Right, number 9. Number 9 is going to have to be Cliffy B. The reason is that this little twat was in the news all the time, particularly during E3. He'd just chime up with a little blog or some tweet, and some twat journalist would pick it up and report it as news. And even after I did a video about Cliffy B, the day I put it up, another story was about his opinion, and then another one, and another one. And all he does is troll for attention. I don't think he believes half the stuff he says. Seriously, he's an antagonistic bellend. I personally feel that about him, and I just don't see the point. If he wanted to make a game, go make a game. I've bought Gears of War, I've played Unreal, fine, do your job. I'm not going to treat you like a rock star. However you act like a rock star, I'm going to think you're a cock. And I think you're a cock. So that's why you're at number 9. Number 8 is Activision. Now, I haven't made a video about this specifically before, but I want to bring this up. Activision are doing dickish things to online retailers and small retailers. What I mean by this is, what they do is they have a launch day embargo on shipping titles. Now, I get my games from shop2.net. If you're in the UK, I strongly recommend checking it out. I believe they've just branched out to Brazil, actually, as well. But they release games. I get most of my games from them. If I buy it, pre-order it, I get it on launch day or the day before. Activision games, those of you who have noticed that I didn't mention a month or so ago when I did my last game release video. I haven't been able to do one for July yet, but I didn't mention Deadpool. People are like, where's Deadpool? And I didn't know. I phoned them up and I asked them, why haven't you got Deadpool listed on your website? Because that's who I use for my calendar, because they literally list things by date of being released, and I can just copy and paste it and off I go. Now, they were like, well, actually, we're having problems with Activision. Well, this is with a certain publisher who are not allowing us to ship titles until the day of release. Now think about that for a second. Now postage takes at least 1 working day. At least 1. So what they're saying, and this is on the Friday games get released in the UK, so some people can't pick up their post on the weekend, depending on where it's been delivered to. If you get delivered to work, say you don't have a decent sized letterbox, say you live in an apartment block, you've only got a small letterbox and they can't put a game in, so you have it sent somewhere else. So that means you don't get your game till potentially Monday. maybe even Tuesday, depending on how the postal service works. Now that's bullshit, and that means that these retailers cannot get these games to you on release day, which is that with shop2.net, that's their promise. They promise to get you the game on launch day. What Activision are actively doing, and they're the only publishers that are doing this, are blocking them from shipping their game prior to the release date. Like, what? What is their worry? And this isn't just Call of Duty, this is everything Activision publish. This is Deadpool. Like, people are worried that a single player only game might get into the player's hands a couple of hours ahead of launch. Is that a problem? It's not like it's a professional game. It's not like, at least Call of Duty, I understand, it's got Major League Gaming and everything. It's a competitive sport. I get that if you get it before release date, it's a big problem because it handicaps others. I get it. But with everything else, are you fucking kidding me? Skylanders, Deadpool, you people are dicks. Sort that shit out. Stop shitting on small retailers. Because the GameStops of this world can have midnight launches. And that actually hampers, not even the small ones, it hampers Amazon. Amazon can't ship the goods until launch day. So I can't get stuff like launch day unless I buy digitally. And your digital prices are fucking ridiculous. So, fuck you, Activision. That's why you get on that list. Right, number 7 is Major Nelson, Larry Herb of Xbox. I'm not going to harp too much on Microsoft as a whole because they have retracted a lot of their policies and they're still getting stick, but they have not. They are on the back foot, so I'm not going to be haranguing them this month. However, Larry Herb came out and he was live tweeting at E3. And Microsoft did some shifty things during E3, one of which was saying things were exclusive when they fucking weren't exclusive. Like saying Titanfall is an Xbox exclusive. It's not an Xbox exclusive, it's on the PC. Saying that other games were Xbox One exclusive when actually you could get them on the 360 or could get them on the PC, or they were timed exclusive, they'd be released slightly earlier. That was some shifty stuff. But Larry Herb tweeted out, and I don't care if he claims it's a mistake, that smacks of dishonesty to me. He announced Metal Gear Solid 5 was going to be an Xbox exclusive. Which is bullshit. Considering the fact that Metal Gear Solid was originally exclusively a Sony franchise, Twin Snakes came out on the GameCube, but up until this day, only Twin Snakes has been released on anything other than a Sony console. That was a bullshit move, and even if it was a mistake, you still get on the list for being a fucking dickhead, not doing your job properly. What the hell was that? People going all over this going, oh my god, Metal Gear Solid's gone to Xbox. Oh, Sony's lost one of its biggest titles. Yeah, the worst. Sony have lost one of their best exclusives. It's now going multiplat. That sucks for Sony, but fucking hell. Even if that was a mistake, that was bullshit. So sort that out, Larry. Speaking of Sony, Sony has to be on here. Number 6 is Sony. Sony for all of the good things they did at E3, for standing up and supporting consumer rights and everything. I'm glad that they did that. I don't think they did it because they're heroes. They did it because they knew it was a way they could guarantee pre-orders, and it did work. Now, what I am pissed off with you, and I do have to mention it specifically here, is PlayStation Plus. Now, I have PlayStation Plus. I like PlayStation Plus. I use it, fine. I am disappointed with you, Sony, and I am a bit pissed off with you that you chose to turn it into Xbox Live and say you have to get Plus to play online. Now, you haven't done things that are as shitty as Microsoft. You are allowing third-party apps to run without using PlayStation Plus. PlayStation Plus does come with digital rentals of games. You don't keep them, you have them as long as you have PlayStation Plus. So you do get to have access to a library of games that are essentially rental games. You can digitally rent them as long as you have the subscription. Much like Netflix and what have you. So it's not a horrific... I find it quite good value for money, but I totally understand why people who don't have it feel absolutely put upon and really pissed off that you've turned around and gone, yeah, you have to have that. What you should be doing, Sony, is making it more attractive. Make it more attractive, people will invest in it, you can use that money and invest it into whatever. That is what I would have done. I think you screwed the pooch a bit there, and it was a bit of a bitter pill to swallow when everyone was being very, very positive on you. So, watch it. That is a bit shifty. I mean, we all know that you're capable of shifty stuff, but that was a nasty little step backwards, and I will not let you get away with it just because I was pissed off at Microsoft at the time. Right, number 5. It's going to be Double Helix. Double Helix for 3 reasons, all related. 1, that they're fucking developing Killer Instinct in the first place. Double Helix. Rare are overseeing the development. Killer Instinct. Now, I loved Killer Instinct when I first played it as a kid. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. I'm gutted I still don't have my original copy. Gutted that I traded it in. Loved Killer Instinct. Had the soundtrack. Brilliant, brilliant game. I don't like the way it looks. It looks like Street Fighter 4, which is bullshit. It should look like it should feel like Killer Instinct. It felt like Street Fighter 4. That's bullshit. The Double Helix, who really don't have any pedigree of any worth, are making that game. Why the hell aren't Rare doing it? Or why at least didn't you go to someone like Atlas? Although they mainly do 2D fighters, but go to somebody. Go to another publisher. Do something. Jesus wept. Not impressed with that one bit. Secondly, it's a free-to-play, where you only get Jago, and every other character is unlockable with money. Jesus fucking Christ, it's a fighting game. That is a step even worse than charging for colour palettes. You're charging for characters. You're only going to get 1 character? Great. I get it for free, but I only get the 1 character. I don't like playing as Jago, really, so I'm going to have to buy other characters, aren't I? And they're not going to be cheap, I know that for bloody sure. And on top of that, given how gaming is under a real microscope at the minute, how a lot of people are questioning the motives of gamers and whether they are sufficiently mature, whether they're sexist, whether they're bigoted, and what does the guy, one of the developers who comes out and does the playtest of Killer Instinct, what does he do? He makes a fucking rape joke. You stupid twat, you're on the stage of E3. The world is watching you, the media is watching you, the gaming world is watching you, and you pulled a rape joke? Do you know what? It wasn't that bad. It didn't offend me so much. I was just like, oh, for fuck's sake. Great. Now people are going to go apeshit. And what happened? People went fucking apeshit. You should have known better. You're a professional. What the hell? Just relax, it'll be over soon. You fucking tosser. You're meant to be selling us this product, not pissing off a bunch of the audience and the media. Fucking dipshits. Right, EA. EA snuck in at the end of this month. They have been kissing our arse all month, and I've had very little to really criticise about them other than going, this is disingenuous bullshit. However, EA have announced, well, they haven't announced, Game have announced, which is GameStop, they have announced what the retail price, recommended retail price will be for EA games for the next generation. And that is £54.99. Now that comes out dollar for pound, pound for dollar, as $82. Now that's probably not what you're going to pay in the US. But that is, I mean, I pay £38 for a game, okay? Unless it's just some kind of special edition, £38 max is what I pay. Unless it's some games you pay a little bit more for, sometimes maybe £44, but in general, £38 is the rate I manage to buy games for. If I can't get a game for under £50 fucking pounds, that is a joke. That is a massive increase. A massive price increase. You fucking tosspots. You absolute fucking tools. Yes, you could argue that games haven't raised much with inflation. That is a valid argument. However, baby steps. You want to promote people to jump onto this new platform, then start with good prices. Entice people. You get more flies with honey than you do with shit, EA. Learn a lesson. You can't just kiss everybody's arse and hope that we'll forget that basically you are a bunch of twats. So yeah, thanks for reminding everybody that really deep down you are still twats. $54.99, you fucking pricks. Number 3, this is going to be a very wide-ranging one. Fanboys. All fanboys. All fanboys get number 3. Every single one of you. Now, it's fine to love something. Now, there's a difference between being a fan of something and being a fanboy of something. Now, you can support a company if you want. Fine. I have my preference of companies myself. However, you should not, for 1 second, defend something indefensible. There are a lot of Microsoft fans that said, I don't like the policies, but I like the technology, I like the machine, I want it to be good. Fine, I'm not going to bag on you for that. I am going to bag on people who write a fucking petition to say, put the DRM back in! We want family sharing. Well, for starters, you didn't know what family sharing was. If the rumours are to be believed, family sharing is just demos. Secondly, what the fuck means that digital gaming has to mean DRM? It doesn't. That is brainwashing. That is the company going, well, if you want digital, we're going to have to fuck you in the arse. No, you go to digital distribution. It benefits you. It should also benefit us. It shouldn't take away our benefits and give them to you. We should all mutually do well. You know, I did a management training course. And as part of that, we did a competition thing. And everybody got a card. And we were told... we all had different materials, little gems, plastic gems and bits of cloth and stuff. And you're told 2 facts, right? So you're told, I don't know, leather squares are worth 3, red gems are worth 10. And then you had to barter and deal with other people. And what I learned when I was looking at this, and everyone was being all secretive, and I remember thinking, there's a trick here. This is a lesson they're trying to teach you. And I said to someone, oh yeah, I want to tell you the 2 things I know. Will you tell me the 2 things that you know? They went, oh, I don't know about that. I said, look, let's... And if I end up getting everybody together and saying, look, guys, we all need to end up with X amount of money to win, okay? Each person needs a certain amount of money to win. Why don't we look at all of the facts and see if we can't share out our information and see if we can't all win? So looked at it. Turns out... red gems, for example, are worth 10, but unless you have a blue gem, your red gems are worth nothing and stuff like that. So we shared it all out and we found we could all win. We all ended up with more money than other people were trying to, you know, scramble for it. In the end, we looked at it and we all got above this threshold. And the person was like, that's brilliant. Because do you know what? No one team has ever got... one person, maybe, out of the 10 teams... will end up with above the line, everyone else will end up below. Whereas you've all shared, you've all done it. That's kind of the point. It's all about win-win negotiation. And that is something that people need to learn when it comes to digital distribution. It doesn't mean you have to get fucked. I'm not a Luddite for not liking digital distribution. I don't like the way they manage it. I love digital goods. I've got so much stuff stored on my network drive. I love MP3s. I love digital files. I think it's great. I also love collecting physical stuff. But if things were worth my while, I would buy less physical copies. But it's not, is it? Because actually you're paying more money and you're getting DRM-riddled bullshit and you can't resell it. And that's all crap. There are ways you can do it. There are ways. So, any fanboy of any type, stop and listen when someone is telling you that they think something is fucked. Don't take it personally because you buy that company's product, for fuck's sake. And that goes for every company. Every fan of Nintendo should accept that the Wii U doesn't have a great list of games. It's better than people say it is, but it does not have a great catalogue now. It doesn't have the best graphical fidelity to last it another 5 years. That is also true. Now, I like Nintendo, but there are ways you can criticise. You can criticise Sony, you can criticise every company. They're all open for criticism. It doesn't mean you have to hate them. I don't hate any companies. Maybe EA. But no, I don't hate them. I just judge them. I criticise them and I judge them. That's why I haven't hampered on EA that much in the last month or so, because they are on the back foot and they do seem to be making goodwill, other than that fucking price hike. Be smart, for fuck's sake. You don't win anything by sucking up to the companies. You don't. You win by telling them what you want. They give you what you want, you give them money, we all win. We get the entertainment we want and they get the money they want. Everybody wins. That's how it should work. Okay? Bear that in mind before you fanboy out because you don't like the title of someone's video or comment. I disagree with what you said and I'm going to hate you forever. Stop being a fucking knobhead. And think what's good for you, not what's good for the company that you like. Twats, the lot of you. Fucking fanboys. And I resent that. You know how you can spot a fanboy when the first thing out of their mouth is, you're a fanboy, because you criticise something. I'm a fanboy, apparently. I play on Nintendo machines, Microsoft machines, Sony machines. I'm getting a new laptop delivered tomorrow. Yeah, I'm a fanboy. I must be a fanboy because I have a Steam account. I have a GOG account. I play my PlayStation, I play my Xbox, I play my Wii, but yeah, I'm a fanboy. I fucking must be because I have an opinion on something. You bunch of fucking cretins. Right, number 2. This one had to be done. Don Matrick. Don Matrick is the standout fuckwit of this month, really, for the most part. Within the gaming industry, absolutely. His comments about the Xbox One were just so ridiculous that Microsoft had to go on a massive, full-scale PR nightmare, try and wipe every video that had his comments of, oh, we have an offline product, it's called the Xbox 360. Oh, the facepalm is strong with this one. And then he was the one who had to kiss up and write the public apology, basically, going, we're listening to you, please buy our machine. And then he leaves, because he was probably pushed, because he was toxic, because it's not that he's the monster of Microsoft that a lot of people are saying, well, he's the bad guy. No, he's not the bad guy, he's just a fucking idiot who kept opening his mouth. He's the idiot, he's an Adam Orth. He doesn't know when to keep his fucking mouth shut. He has no tact. And when you're doing PR, it is all about tact. It's all about the message. At least Larry Herb, when he was interviewed, was evasive about the questions. He didn't just flat out just go, ha 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 ha, you have questions. Fuck you. That's basically what Don Matrick did. And then, where does he go after he leaves Microsoft? CEO of the worst gaming company in the fucking history. They're not even really a gaming company. Zynga. Zynga. Jesus fucking Christ. Zynga, the king of cow clickers and free-to-play, money-raping, monstrous, IP rip-offing shitholes. You don't have enough energy to play a game. Come back tomorrow or pay for fucking money so you can raid another mafia boss's. Oh, fuck you, Zynga. And fucking now you're helmed by the biggest douche in gaming. You leave Cliffy B. Compared to Cliffy B, you're a monster. Cliffy B's a saint next to you. You're a fucking cretin. And what's worse, you actually work for you're head of fucking Microsoft. You're head of Xbox. You're a senior VP in Microsoft. At least Cliffy B's an out-of-work developer. You're a professional. I don't go to my clients and fucking disrespect them or talk like I'm talking now, swilling a beer and going, you're all a bunch of stupid cunts. Do you want to give me some money? No! Jesus, you are unbelievable. But there can only be one number 1. There can be only one, Highlander. And that is whoever the fuck that Canadian person is who reported Justin Carter. Now, Justin Carter is currently in prison, waiting trial for a terror threat. Now, Justin Carter is a fucking idiot. Let's just get that out there. He needs to learn people need to learn a lesson online. People need to learn a lesson that you don't just get to run your mouth without consequence. It's the internet. Freedom of speech. There are limits to freedom of speech. When what you say can be considered a credible threat or a credible abuse, then there are legal ramifications. Now, do I believe he wanted to go murder children? Hell no. Did he make a stupid fucking joke? Yes. Was he a kid? Yeah, he was an 18-year-old kid. Okay, so this woman tracked him down, found a school nearby and went, oh, he's going to kill the kids, and called the police, and the police took it seriously. Because they had to once that report was in place, and arrested this poor kid. They've left him naked in solitary confinement because they think he's going to kill himself and because he's been being abused in prison. For a stupid fucking joke. Now, he's a dick for making that joke, but he's a kid. You should have gone round and gone, for fuck's sake, grow up. You made a stupid-ass joke. You can't make those kind of jokes in this environment where people are afraid of kids who play games with guns and terrorists as equal footing. Teenagers who play games, who talk about shooting people, and terrorists are on a par in American society's eye. You scare the shit out of scared people. For the love of Christ, mind what you say and learn from this. He did commit a crime in the letter of the law. He is a fucking idiot. But the person who tracked him down and reported him to the police has no fucking sense. That is what makes them a dickhead. They clearly had no sense of perspective, didn't understand that, lol, joking, just joking, afterwards, but that's not That wasn't okay to... You still decide to stalk the boy. Really? This would be essentially me saying... there's no analogy. The kid's an idiot, but you're a fucking asshole. You've ruined this boy's life. What you should have done is scared him straight. Fine. Send him a message to say, just so you know, I found that massively offensive, and if anything happens, I will go directly to the police with your details because you've just threatened to kill children. And if he then went, well, I'm only joking, then you go, well, then mind what you're fucking saying. None of this passive-aggressive, hide behind the fucking anonymity of the internet and call the police. That is bullshit, it is cowardly, and you have ruined that boy's life. Even if he was a fucking knob to put himself in that situation. Anyway, guys, that is my rundown of top 10 gaming-related dickheads. Thanks all for watching. I'll catch you guys later.